Today we're talking about how much fabric we need for our quilt. So what I do is take the standard sizes, and this is a list of the standard sizes that I normally use, and as you can see I've made notes to myself throughout the years. And if you've done a Google search for standard quilt sizes, you'll see that there are many different versions. So I'm going to show you the version that I've used for several years now. So I take those sizes and I decide what size I'm going to make, and then I take a piece of graph paper and I draw my quilt. I draw the way I want it to look. I do my little legend, I believe it's called, as to how many inches each square is going to represent. And in this case, because I'm going to use 4-inch squares, which will make a 9 patch, which is 12 inches square. So I'm using each little square as 4 inches. So I draw my quilt, and then I take that drawing to figure out how much fabric I need. In this video, I'm going to post these little drawings for each size quilt so that you can use the ones that apply to your quilt. And that way you can go ahead and have the information you need to get your fabric. Now, if you're using scraps of fabric, different colors, then you just need an amount that totals the total yardage that you need. I'm going to attach an article that I'm writing about how to actually figure your own yardage. But for now, as in a lot of cases, you'll be using a pattern for the quilt that you're working on, and it will give you the yardage that you need. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the yardage here, and that way you can gather your fabric, and next week we can get started cutting our fabric, cutting our quilt pieces. But the article that I'll post, I'll link to it in the description of this video so that you'll have the information. But if you're just a beginning quilter, I know as a beginning quilter I couldn't possibly have figured out how much fabric I need. I know, depending on the pattern that you're using, it's easy to figure how much total yardage you need, but you also have to be able to figure the pieces, the fabric that's going to be cut into pieces and then put back together again. You'll need more yardage than if you were using one solid piece of fabric. So for now, if you will just use the figures that I've come up with, and we'll talk about how to determine, using math, how many yards of fabric you need for your quilts. Sorry to be late with this, but I've had technical difficulties, so I am posting now a list of all the fabric requirements for the different sizes of quilts, beginning with crib size all the way up to king size. And I'm also posting for you to see my drawings of how the finished product should look, what the pattern should look like or resemble. So good luck with your fabric acquisitions. Have fun with it, and I'll see you next week, and we'll start cutting out our quilt pieces. Sounds exciting, doesn't it?